the competitive advantages and competition of Tencent and Alibaba? Okay, let's look at Tencent first. What is the competitive advantage of Tencent? Okay, I think the primary advantage, I think, is network effects. I mean, in Singapore, we don't use WeChat that much, but just imagine your WhatsApp. What is network effect? Network effect is that when there are more users, it attracts more sellers, and the more sellers, it attracts more users. So in this case, the more people who are on this network, who are on WhatsApp, imagine, what will happen? If there's enough people who are on WhatsApp, it actually attract more people to come onto WhatsApp. Because all your friends are there. Why would you want to go anywhere else? So you go log on to WhatsApp as well, so all your friends are there. Yeah. And if it couples with a lot of functions which you can use, you can actually, let's say, book for services, you book for cab, buy things through the same website, and then it attracts more sellers. So it becomes a very powerful ecosystem. Yeah, and that's what WeChat QQ is or are. So the network effect is actually very powerful. So today, it's still by de facto, actually the messaging platform for China. Okay, so today, yes, about 1.2 billion monthly active users, largely in China. So China is about 1.3 billion. So you can say that almost everybody in China has a WeChat account. Okay. And then number one traffic in China. What is switching costs? Switching costs is once you're on it, you don't really want to leave. Yeah. Because people get used to it, they're locked into the ecosystem. So they are familiar with it, familiar to how to order things, get a Grab, for example, like on WhatsApp. So they get very familiar. So they don't want to switch, and that is a switching cost. That's a secondary competitive advantage. Okay, I just briefly share a live, actually in a day, based on a source from Tencent, right? A typical WeChat user engages 11 separate times per day, with WeChat. Firstly, when they wake up, what do? They look at WeChat moments. It's a bit like our Facebook. Okay, they look at what their friends has shared over the day, And then after that, at 7:45, they want to go to work. Yeah, so they need to use WeChat, to be ordering their right to work. And then when they reach office, they order their breakfast. They need to pay using WeChat Pay. Okay, when it begins work, like on WhatsApp, they start to talk to their boss, talk to their colleagues via WeChat group. And in the lunch break, want to show their friends for lunch. So also use the WeChat groups, which is our WhatsApp. Okay, and then during lunch, to split the bill, they use the lucky money, which is a function, to split the bills over lunch. Okay, after lunch, got some time, want to do some shopping, so they go JD.com, which is also a subsidiary of Tencent. Yeah, and then using going through WeChat to go to JD.com to buy things. And after that, log off from work, look at WeChat moments, see what your friends has typed in the day, and then to buy groceries for the day. Go and pay using WeChat Pay. And then after relax, take a break. That's where we go WeChat moment to chat again. And then to look at playing games or going to watch videos or listen to music. And before going to sleep, check WeChat moment again, to see what your friends has typed. So that's usually, on research, average WeChat user engages WeChat 11 times a day. So which is a very powerful capturing of the eyeball, which is people's attention. So let's talk about competitor. So I would say a good competitor has emerged. Okay, so it's called ByteDance. So ByteDance actually has TikTok and Toutiao. Okay, so TikTok is a bit like a YouTube, not exactly, but for people to actually post short videos, so they can be doing singing, doing lip syncing, all these things, and send to their friends. Okay, so today it's 800 million users, but TikTok is not contained within China. It's outside of China as well. Okay, so it is becoming one of the competitor for, I'll say one of the serious competitor for Tencent. And also it wanted to go into gaming. So this is in talks. rumor, don't know yet. Yeah, that ByteDance wanted to also buy a gaming company so that they can get into the gaming space. Okay, so I'll say ByteDance is probably the, well, as far as I know, one of the serious competitor for Tencent. How serious is this TikTok? Okay, if I look at Tencent, it's probably a combination of like our WhatsApp, our Facebook, our Netflix combined all in one. And TikTok is probably a bit more like a YouTube. Okay, I'm just trying to draw an analogy so that we can easily understand. Okay, so I'll say that TikTok may not be a very direct competitor for Tencent, so to speak. Okay, yeah, but it's still a serious competitor, but not a direct competitor. Let's look at Alibaba. Okay, similarly, I think the primary network effects of Alibaba is the primary competitive advantage is also network effects. Okay, today Alibaba still commands more than half of the e-commerce market share. Okay, yeah. So today, because it's the early starter, so a lot of people, actually there are a lot of users, and again, more users will actually attract more vendors, because they can have more people to sell their goods to, and when there are more vendors, you also attract more buyers, because there are more selection of goods, and this virtuous cycle continue. Okay, and a secondary effect is actually switching costs, because certain things like if online sales, right, what is needed? You actually need review. You need people to comment. You have ranking, because people sometimes do not know which website to go to, yeah, or which let's say you start up an online store, yeah, people don't know which pizza to buy from, so they will look at review. Oh, this pizza shop got a lot of review, good reviews, yeah, and then people will then go there to buy their pizza. So once they move to another platform, all this review they cannot bring along with them. Yeah, so it's stuck in a Taobao. Yeah. So then that is actually one of the switching costs. Yeah. They don't want to leave the platform. And secondarily, it's also because designing of the online store. Yeah, that they're used to the design and they will stay with it. Okay, so these are the same two competitive advantage. Yeah, but maybe work in a different way. Okay, let's talk about competitor. So Taobao, I say the primary platform, the B2C platform for Alibaba, is still the leader and it's still growing. However, I think one serious competitor, if you look at Pinduoduo, yeah, it's actually been narrowing the gap with Taobao. Okay, and JD.com as well, especially during this COVID, because JD.com is one that has its own logistic, network. Yeah, unlike Taobao and Pinduoduo. Yeah, and so it was one that was said to do better, yeah, during this COVID-19. So it does have two serious competitors in Pinduoduo and JD.com. Let's look at a concern for Alibaba. Okay, lack of consumer traffic. Because Alibaba don't have the others of this area. It doesn't have a social media platform, a successful or a big social media platform. It doesn't have a search engine. It doesn't have short videos. Yeah, so it's very powerful on the merchandise side. It's a lockup with all this merchandise. Yeah, but in terms of driving traffic, consumer traffic to their website, that Alibaba is actually weaker. Okay, so let me sum it up for this segment. Right. So this is what I've shared. The competitive advantages, which is the same competitor, TikTok and TikTok for Tencent, Pinduoduo and JD.com for Alibaba. So in this segment, round one, who do you think wins? Okay, my choice is also Tencent. Okay, let me share a little bit. I think, although I put it both as network effect and switching costs, I think the competitive advantage, yeah, is stronger for Tencent. Yeah, because I say that once a person get locked into, like, you just imagine your WhatsApp. Once you get locked into it, it's very hard to leave. Yeah, because all your friends are there. Yeah, so you don't want to leave. And until today, we don't have a competitor for WhatsApp. So similarly, I think it's hard to create a competitor, which is why today there really has not been a serious competitor for WeChat in China. However, Alibaba, although has its competitive advantages, but it started to see competitors arising, and pretty serious direct competitors. So I think that's got to do with the strength of their competitive advantages. So in this aspect, actually, I agree with most of y'all, which is actually Tencent is winner for round one. How about the competing businesses? Okay, so I share an analogy. Tencent is, for example, a very good soccer player. Okay, so they're only playing soccer, very good with their feet. Alibaba is a basketball player, very good with their hands, but they are in largely separate business. Yeah, because Tencent is social media and entertainment. Alibaba is e-commerce, but these two are friends. So in their leisure time, or sometime in their leisure time, they actually have a game of tennis. That means actually they're in certain areas, they are actually in the same space, and they are actually direct competitors with one another. Let's take a look. Okay, the first area is actually in cloud. Okay, so Tencent has its Tencent Cloud, Alibaba has got Alibaba Cloud. As I said, Tencent Cloud came in only 4 years after Alibaba Cloud. Alibaba Cloud 2009, Tencent Cloud is 2013. Okay, the other one is food delivery, where Tencent owns Meituan, Dianping, and then Alibaba owns Ele.me. Okay, so there may be others, but I will just look at these two. Okay, so by and large, Tencent, for their fintech and business services, which the cloud is part of, represents 27% of their business. Yeah, and it's a profitable segment for Tencent. For Alibaba, their cloud computing is 8% and it's not profitable. But I say this can be quite gray. It depends where you categorize your cost. Yeah, if you chuck it all to one segment, that segment becomes unprofitable. So I say we can take it with a pinch of salt sometimes. First, let's look at the cloud. Okay, we look at two parts. One is the market share. Okay, because Alibaba Cloud started 4 years before Tencent. Okay, so today it's by far the market leader. In China, it has about 45% of the cloud market. Tencent is about 14%. It's number 3 actually. So if you look at it, 1 year, Tencent's cloud is about 17 billion in revenue, and Alibaba is about 40 billion. This is actually quite a fast-growing space. You look on the left side, the cloud infrastructure spending in mainland China increased by 67% in Q1, despite the COVID. So it's a very fast-growing market. So in terms of market share, I think Alibaba is the winner because it's the early starter. But let's look at the growth. If I look at 2018, Alibaba's cloud business market share is 43%. Tencent is 11%. Okay. Fast forward 2 years, come 2020, Alibaba Cloud is about 45%, a growth of 3.5%. And Tencent's cloud is actually grew 24%. Went up by about about close to 3%. Okay, so I said Tencent Cloud is growing faster than Alibaba Cloud. So in terms of growth, Tencent Cloud is growing faster. But the fastest growing is really the Huawei. You look at Huawei in 2018, where is it? It only has 2.3% of the market share. And today, it has about 14% of the cloud market share. Okay, so then let's look at food delivery, which is the other of their competing business. Okay, so you can see in terms of market share, Meituan has a bigger market share than Ele.me, about two-thirds to one-third. Okay, so that's their food delivery market share. In terms of growth as well, so you look at the orange one. The orange is actually Meituan. So from 2018 to second quarter 2019, if you look at the orange part, it's actually been growing, and the blue part has been declining. So Meituan has been growing market share at the expense of Ele.me. Okay. Yeah. So then let's look at it in terms of the two businesses and market share and growth. So let's say the cloud, in terms of market share, is Alibaba is the winner. Okay. In terms of growth, Tencent is the winner. Okay. In food delivery, under Meituan, so the market share is Tencent is the winner, and in food delivery growth, Tencent is also the winner. Okay. So I think in these two segments, I think quite clear. I shan't ask for you all to ask to share your views. So I think I would say Tencent is the winner here in terms of when they have a competing business. Yeah. But this may or may not be. But it could mean that actually Tencents actually are good at executing. Yeah. So once they may be late into the game, yeah, but once they're into the game, they're actually quite good at it. Yeah. This is what I kind of derive from this trend.